They're watching this tornado warning that's currently located here in Southeast LaFleur County coming into Sebastian County. It's had some rotation on it so far this afternoon, or this evening. But it's really the only storm out there that's actually been spinning. The ones in Northwest Arkansas moved through. They're not that bad as they moved across the area. I was watching Zach Hall. Zach and I are good friends. His feed kind of freezes up here and there due to the terrain. He's actually down there in the LaFleur County Heavener area watching this storm. So he's got eyes on the wall cloud. Obviously, it's buffering now. You can't see what he's seeing, but you can certainly see the wall cloud. And hopefully, when he gets back in cell reception, we can get an idea of what's going on. But again, that's Arkansas Storm Tracker Zachary Hall. You can find him on YouTube and on Facebook. He's been out chasing storms. I was talking to him last night at about 1:30 in the morning. He was driving back from western Kansas from chasing storms, but he's in southern LaFleur County now, headed into Sebastian County. So let's go ahead and check on what's going on here and what happens next. I don't think it's going to be a big outbreak for us, but there will be a couple of storms that bear watching. This is the radar showing the storms that are currently located in southern Sebastian County, just to the east of Heavener. You can see this thing tracking to the east. They may be sounding the sirens all over the county, but really it's the southern part of the county that's most concerning. Probably Hartford, Huntington, more so than anywhere else. Slaytonville, that area. Let me show you what it looks like with rotation here. The rotation tracker is showing a possible tornado just north of Sugar Creek. That's west of Bates, northwest of Weeks, and southwest of Hartford. If you're in Hartford, though, keep your ears peeled on this thing. We could have a potential tornado that's moving in. I did see a photo from Pittsburgh County, actually, a pretty well developed tornado that moved through earlier today. So, yeah, it has a potential for a quick tornado. We're watching the wind speeds. They have wrapped up quite a bit right through here. So I think if we do see a tornado, it's going to be right in this area here, which would put it, let's see here. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this and show you where it would possibly be located. Looks like Oklahoma High Top. I'm guessing that's not a shoe and probably a mountain. Um, let's see here. Any roads that we can name? A lot of rural roads. Of course, when you get into southern LaFleur County, it's very mountainous, right? I mean, there's not a whole lot out there around Hartford and Hackett. I learned to drive out here around the Gap. There's nothing there. I mean, that's why my mom let me drive out that way. But there's something to watch here as far as this tornado warning goes. So the tornado warning goes until how long? 26 more minutes they've got. I bet they extend it. If there's a tornado that's forming, it's going to be located in southern LaFleur County, southeast of Monroe, north of Alabama High Top. Um, not getting any names of any roads out there. It could be just because it is so rural, but we could potentially be seeing a tornado forming right in this area. That's going to be to the southwest of Hartford, right there, is where the strongest rotation is. That's really the only rotation that we're seeing right now. Most of the rotation hasn't been that strong. We had a little bit earlier in Benton County. That one faded and fell apart. Actually, Zach's feed just came back. Let's see if we can find it here. It came back and then it went away. What do you say I refresh it and see what happens? Just do it live. Southern LaFleur and Southern Sebastian County, the cell reception just sucks. So you get down there, you really can't call anybody. He's trying to stream live video. There we go. Let's see if it stays up for a little bit. And Zach's awesome, isn't he? Zach used to be a Fort Smith police officer. I've known Zach for a long time. He's real skilled at storm chasing, really good at weather analysis as well. Again, this is a live look at his live streaming. You can follow him on YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel set up. He's actually got two. He's got one where he chases storms all over Kansas, Nebraska, and stuff like that. And then he's got one specifically for Arkansas. So we're watching the live Arkansas feed here. Again, that's Arkansas Storm Tracker Zachary Hall on YouTube and Facebook, looking at these storms. Of course, when it gets nighttime too, it's real difficult to actually see these thunderstorms and especially these funnel clouds as they move through. Um, Back in the day, there was actually a T-shirt going around that said "Real Men Chasing the Ozarks" because you can't see these things. You come up over a hill, and all of a sudden, there's a tornado, right? Um, so that is a possibility here with some of these storms. I think that rotation is still pretty strong here in eastern LaFleur County, heading into Sebastian County. Prolific lightning with it. You can see that lightning that's out there in the distance from Zach's mobile camera. But really, that's all that's out there. I don't see anything else that would really warrant any big attention here as far as severe weather goes. We go back over to radar and take a look at it. Big view. Honestly, I don't think we're going to see much more in Northwest Arkansas. I mean, this stuff to the west is really just garbage that's out there around Muskogee and Tahlequah. Hasn't really done anything. The best dynamics and wind fields are happening right now, so this is probably mostly a Rogers Springdale thing, back down through Fayetteville into I-49 around the tunnel. These storms still have some to it, but the ones to the west surely don't. And then you go to the south, and you've got that one storm. This is really the only game in town here with that storm near Heavener. The storm's still, man, that thing's still spinning pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this causes a tornado here near Hartford, or at least just south of Hartford. Let's see what the velocities come up to. Still looking at some strong inbound to outbound winds in the southern Lafleur County, southern Sebastian County area. That's the area to watch for the possibility of rotation with these storms. That storm tracking northeast probably gets into Midland and Huntington in due time. Let me check back in with Zach here. Let's see what's going on. Ah, yes, southern Lafleur County. The cell signal. Isn't it lovely? See if we can get a update here on this. There we go. Sometimes you got to hit the old F5 button. Let's see how long this lasts. Probably not long, though. That's southern Lafleur County, southwest Sebastian County. Zach Hall chasing that storm that's out there. And I'll keep an eye on that. Zach and I have been talking here for about the last 24 hours or so on all these storms that are moving through. So, what happens next? Well, these storms make their way to the east northeast. I think by 10:11, it's all done. So, we're looking at about another hour and a half, 2 hours of this stuff. And then, really, nothing else as we head into the overnight and first part of the day for tomorrow. We get a break for 2 days, and then we get back into this mess coming up around Wednesday and also on Thursday. So as it stands right now, let me go to analyst and show you guys where the rotation is specifically located. I've got it up on two screens here. A lot of times what I'll do, I don't really show this a whole lot on streaming or even when I was on TV. But I'll do two screens. So on one side I've got the velocity, and on one side I've got the reflectivity, and I can place markers on this and find out exactly where it is. So I'm looking at it right here, and then I can change over to coefficient, which tells me if there's debris on the ground. And it does not look like it, just based on what I'm seeing now. And the couplet's loose. I mean, it's not tight. It's a loose. It's very wide. A lot of times you want to see those reds and greens really close. If they get wide like that, you got a big wall cloud that's spinning, but you don't really get that tornado motion right in the center of it. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on as it moves towards Hartford. If you're in Hartford, I'd keep a very close eye on this. Probably get in your tornado shelter until this thing moves through. This is the only one that's out there that's spinning right now. That's going to travel northeast. I think on its current track, let's just look at it. I think it's going to go south of Greenwood. Unless it makes a little bit of a jog north, it may just miss Greenwood to the south. Could get into Paris and Ozark, though, assuming the mesocyclone holds together. Keep in mind, we have lost daytime heating, though, so the instability is not nearly as strong as it would be otherwise if we had had some stronger storms in the area and some higher instability. Oh, Zach's cam just came back. Let's check it out. This is Arkansas Storm Tracker Zachary Hall. And there it went away. That's the way it works. It just happens that way sometimes, right? All right, so back over to the radar real quick. I'm going to give you a full view of this thing. So this is the velocity. So the velocity signature pretty strong on this. If we have a tornado on this, it's crossing the Arkansas-Oklahoma state line just southeast of Monroe, south of Trestle Ford, coming into the West Hartford area. That's going to track northeast out towards Patterson and eventually affect central and southern Sebastian County now. Again, there's another look at it. Every now and then his camera comes back. Arkansas Storm Tracker Zachary Hall following that storm. This is out around Monroe. See how hard it is to see this stuff at night? I mean, you got trees on each side, you got mountains, you got hills. You just can't really get a good glimpse of the wall cloud or the rotation that's out there. I posted a link to Zach's feed on my Facebook page. It was the one previously before this, but feel free to watch that. And you can see it as it comes in and out as Zach chases this storm. He showed me a. Just listening to him. He's trying to get up on 71. He's headed over towards Podo Mountain to try to get ahead of this thing. So we'll see how it goes. I think the rotation's strong enough, though, that you could actually get a brief tornado out of this. Let me take you back over to analyst real quick, and I'll turn on rotation tracker here, and you can see it a little bit better. If we just isolate the rotation only, let's go back to one screen. I think that'll help see it a little bit clearer for you. So the rotation's right in this area here, crossing the Arkansas-Oklahoma state line between Monroe and Hartford, right in here. Here's what it looks like on velocity. There we go. Again, that movement's going to be tracking towards the northeast. Change tilts on this real quick. Let's just see what this thing looks like here. There we go. So if there was a tornado, it'd be right here in this dark green color. This is normalized rotation. So this shows us where the tornado would be occurring. That's south of 96, which runs from Hartford to Monroe. And it's just to the north of State Highway 80. So we're right there south of Hartford, north of Bates. The tornado would be passing just east of Hartford, probably en route to Mansfield, should it hold together. We'll see if it does. Um, but right now, the strongest rotation is located on the Arkansas side of the border. That warning is still in effect for Oklahoma, but I'm showing the strongest rotation right there, southwest of Hartford. As far as distance goes, that's going to be southwest of Hartford by about 4 miles, about 4.1 miles. So that's where that rotation is. That's tracking to the northeast. That's really the only storm out there. These ones in northwest Arkansas, they look pretty nasty and gnarly just southeast of Winslow. Ooh, that looks a little wild, huh? I think that's a bad frame there. Let's try base velocity. There we go. There's not any rotation that I'm seeing here with these storms. Maybe some strong gusty winds here in the northeast part of Crawford County, but nothing spinning like what we're seeing here in southern Sebastian County, as well as eastern Lafleur County that's out there. Back over to Zach Hall. He just came up. Storm Tracker Zachary Hall showing, um, every time I hit that button, it goes away. There we go. Hey, it's gotten a little darker. It's a lot harder to see. He's still following that potential tornado as he makes his way over towards 71 here. It would be located southwest of Hartford. I don't see any tornado debris on this. Just checking it right now, I don't see anything. But still pretty wrapped up here in the southwest part of Sebastian County and eastern portions of Lafleur County with that tornado warning. That tornado warning, by the way, goes until 8:45, so you got about 15, 17 minutes or so until that thing moves through. And of course, nighttime tornadoes are especially dangerous just because you can't see where these things are. You can tell by Zach's feed there, it's very challenging to see the terrain. It's hard to see the clouds, and it's really hard to get anything, get a good visual on anything. So we're coming up on 8:30. The tornado watch goes until 11. I do think they'll probably let it go at 11. I don't see much in the way of any stronger rotation that's out there. We do have those storms in Fort Smith on the southwest side of Fort Smith, pretty loud around Pensacola. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. I've been watching that. I don't see any rotation in this stuff that's out there, though. But certainly looking at those storms that are moving through central Sebastian County and then tracking towards the north and towards the northeast. Let me try to call Zach. You think I can get through? Let's do it. It could be fun. Let's see. Let me get Zach's speed up here. He probably won't answer me because he doesn't know I'm about to call him. Let me refresh it here. There we go. Let's just see what happens. Hey, it's Arkansas Storm Tracker Zachary Hall. Hey, it's Garrett Lewis. I've been watching the storm. Zach, you're down there. Your feed goes in and out because of the cell reception, but we can see some of those low clouds, and I think we saw a wall cloud earlier. Where are you now? What are you seeing? I don't know how good cell phone for you. I'm east on 38 to Waldron. Can you still hear me? I still got you. Yeah, headed towards Waldron, huh? Unfortunately. All right, Zach, I'll let you go. I think the cell service is cutting in and out, and I don't want to screw up your feed either. Again, that's Zach Hall that's out there. I'll shoot him a text real quick. Let him know that we used him. Hang on, go back to radar for you guys. Hang on a sec here. That is not Zach calling me back. It's actually my son wanting me to tuck him in, so I'll do that here shortly. Oh, vey. All right, so we've got these storms that are moving through. Let me go back to radar, big picture view here. Again, that rotation still pretty tight, pretty strong here in southern Sebastian County out towards Hartford. This is the one that we're watching. That's south of Hartford coming up on Patterson. Should there be a tornado? Zach says trying to get to Waldron on 28 is what he just told me. He just texted me back. Um, so he's on 28 trying to get over there, get ahead of there he is right there. So he'd be right in this area here, traveling from Coaldale to Bates. See, the thing about storms and storm chasing, a lot of people think you're crazy like they show on the Discovery Channel. you don't want to get in the middle of the storm. I know some of these people like have their souped up cars that have like I don't know, sticks that go in the ground and keep don't do that. That's dumb. Here's the thing, when you're storm chasing, you typically stay south of the storm, you typically stay south about 2 to 5 miles. Every time I've been storm chasing, I rarely even get rained on. We stay south of the storm, we stay away from the rotation, and Zach's a great storm chaser. He knows what he's doing, and that's what he's doing as he travels to the south here of this storm on 28, trying to get over to 71. He knows if he can get on 71 over in this area here, he can head north, and if he heads north, he can probably intercept this thing somewhere around Huntington or just southwest of Boonville. So that's what he's going to be trying to do here as this thing makes its way north northeast. It's pretty wrapped up here. I'm gonna go back to analyst real quick, and I just want to see if we can find any tornado debris. And I'm gonna go a little wonky here. I'm gonna go 4 panel here on you. So first top left. Hang on, pull it up for you. Top left, I've got reflectivity. The second one here, second box here, I'm going to put storm relative velocity. Bottom left, I'm going to put normalized rotation. And in the bottom right, I'm going to put hail and look and see where the hail is on this storm. So we have the center of rotation right here, just to the south of Hartford. I'm going to loop this and just see how this goes in real time, doing some analysis here. Does not look like it's weakening. The Vil signature on the bottom right shows strengthening. You can see the little yellow pixels that are in there. Still seeing some tight couplet here just south of Hartford. I think this tornado, or possible tornado at least, passes just to the south of Hartford. Um, Looks like it's going to be south of 96, north of 28. Zach's just came back online. You want to see a shot? Every time, y'all. It's like when I go to these iCams and I try to see some lightning. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen like you'd like. Still some strong rotation south of Hartford, though. I'm going to go back to my four screen real quick, and I'm going to turn this bottom right one on to the TDS, which is tornado debris signature. And what I'm looking for here is something that's co-located. So where this red and green is, if I can find some, I'm going to put a little dot right there, little red dot. I don't know if you can see it or not, if there's any blue located right next to it. And there is some blue to the east, but there's not a big drop off here. What correlation coefficient does is it actually measures, or the radar beam goes out in the vertical and the horizontal. So it's seeing the size of the particle. So if you have something that's like a rectangle or something, it's gonna come back as blue. If you have something like a circle, then it's going to come back like a raindrop and is going to be red. So the blue colors are what we're looking for. The key is it has to be co-located right with the velocity signature. So if I was going to go to 2 panel, and this is how we know that tornadoes are on the ground, I can go to storm relative velocity. I can change the other image to correlation coefficient. Hang on, here you go. And then I can zoom in on where the spinning is, which is right here, and I can see if we have any blue overlapping. I know it looks like Minecraft; the kids love it. These pixels that are all over the place, but that's how we can tell if it's on the ground or not. And to be frank, that little drop off just south of the hell core right there, that could be something. It's not pronounced, but it very well could be something that's on the ground there, just to the south of Hartford. How far south of Hartford? Well, it looks like it's going to be about 2 miles to the south. And again, the track on this is going to be north and northeast. If we were to do a storm track, I think it's moving. Let's see what the Weather Service has this thing as. They've got it for 11 more minutes, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. So if we track this storm northeast at 30 miles an hour, here we are, and we'll move it to the northeast up towards Huntington, Magazine, Paris. This one doesn't get into the Fort Smith area, but at 30 miles an hour, it's going to put this thing in Hartford in about 4 minutes, Arcola about 15, Liberty in 18, Huntington in 18 minutes, Charleston in about an hour or so. Um, Branch in about just over an hour and 5 minutes. And that's if it holds together. It may not. And in fact, over the last couple of frames, you can probably see some of the green colors that have fallen off on this storm. Let me get rid of this real quick. And there you go. So you can see the dark blues, but look how the blues fade in the last couple of scans. That's a weakening trend. So that's what you want to see. You want to see these storms weaken a little bit, and then you don't have to deal with that tornado threat as it moves on through. So just south of Hartford, out towards Huntington, Huntington, you guys need to be on alert here for the possibility of some storms. Again, Arkansas Storm Tracker Zachary Hall, his live shot. Look now, it is dark. It's black. You can't see anything. Zach will come up over a hill and find a tornado. I think he's headed northbound on 71. He's probably trying to get to Huntington. That's what I would do. If he can get up there close to 96, 45, that area, he should be in very good position Let's see. Actually, Zach just texted me. Voice text. I'm about to hit 71 north, get close to Mansfield or something. I'll let you know, and you can call. So there you go. That's where Zachary Hall is currently located, again, northbound on 71, as he's watching these storms that are moving through. It's that specific storm that came in from Heavener, though, that continues to track northeast. I like the weakening trend I'm seeing, though. Um, Let me show you the blue color. See the blue right there? That's bad. But as it moves north, you lose the blue colors, and in the last couple of frames, it's actually weakened. What I'm curious about, though, let me get rid of this real quick. I'm curious if we see I'm curious if we're going to see the 1 second here reflectivity. If we see the values start to drop off, I'm going to load Vil on this. The Vil trend is something that we usually look at to see how a storm's behaving and whether or not it's going to be increasing or decreasing. And so I'm looking at colors, right? So I'm looking at the dark reds and yellows, bright red, yellow. I don't know. I think it's weaker than it was in southern LaFleur County. It looks like it's still fairly strong, though. I mean, it's still a strong storm, so it's not something that you'd want to discount um, as these storms move on through. Again, that's Huntington, Hartford. This storm will go south of Fort Smith. You guys in Fort Smith, I know it's storming really well here. I'm not seeing anything as far as rotation goes in the Fort Smith area, so no worries about that. I'll go over to analysts too, just to double check here. And let's go to a one screenshot and look at the Fort Smith area. Gonna look at base reflectivity first. Boy, that's a nasty storm, isn't it? It's loud too. Holy cow. That thing is right over us, isn't it? And it's moving towards the north and towards the northeast. So you got a big mess that's coming through the Fort Smith metro right now. You can see what it looks like if we look at it. Let's see if I can pull this up. This is out around Zero Street. Boy, just torrential rainfall that's coming down here. That's out by exit 11 on Zero. You can see some of that heavy rain, and that pretty much matches up really well with what we're seeing here on radar with those heavy showers. That extends out towards the south part of Fort Smith as well. If we were to look at Highway 71 south, you can also see some of that heavy wind and rain that's moving in again from the west to the east. No rotation with this. You may have some small hail. This storm particularly is not severe warned right now. So it is a strong storm, but it's not a severe storm. And it's just adding to those rainfall totals that we've already picked up here over the last day or so. iDrive camera that's out there around the state line. This is towards Arcoma, out towards the casino. You can see some of the lightning that's out there flashing around, some flashes of light. Some guy driving with his hazard lights on. Maybe he's headed towards the slot machine. But it looks like no severe thunderstorms that are out there. And really, the rain isn't torrential right now in southeast. Well, I wanted to say Southeast Fort Smith, but here's the deal. In Southeast Fort Smith, it actually is coming down pretty hard. Where that camera is located is going to be right around here, and it's really not that bad. But you head east just a little bit, you get out towards the airport, and it really is coming down quite a bit around Phoenix on the south part of Fort Smith. Heavy showers and storms. Let me see if I can bring up the Phoenix camera and show you what that looks like. This is looking northbound from Phoenix Avenue. Hey, someone else has got their flashers on. So that's looking towards the Phoenix Avenue exit. The rain's torrential though. I mean, it's really coming down out there. Thankfully, that storm that's over us in Fort Smith, despite the fact that sirens may be sounding, it's not a supercell. It's not a storm that we're worried about. And doesn't have any rotation on it. So good, good, good as far as that goes. Now, the storm that does though is the one in South Sebastian County. The tornado warning on that one goes until let's see, how long do they put on this thing? They've got it moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. They've got it for another 5 minutes. They have the tornado warning. So in 5 minutes, we'll see if the Weather Service reissues it. You think they will? Let's look. I don't think they will, based on the current radar. Um, I can see that rotation. You guys can see it too. Look how green and yellow those things were. Man, those things were hooked up, weren't they? From about Heavener up to Hartford, it was really wrapped up. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a brief tornado touchdown in that area. But as it tracks north, it's lost a little bit. And keep in mind, we had a lot of rain today, guys. So, I mean, it's not like the atmosphere is just primed for severe weather. We had rain. It was like throwing cold water on a fire, kind of let it sizzle out. Maybe embers refired up. That's probably what's happening here and there. But in 5 minutes, we'll see if they issue that warning, reissue it or not. My gut feeling is they probably won't, based on the current radar trend, despite that we have some strong winds that are moving across Fort Smith. Back to radar again, big picture view. Let me get this velocity off of here and show you what's happening. So this is the big picture view. So as we head into the overnight, these storms will weaken. They'll all move east. They'll move out. Look at that. Another tornado warning up there on Springfield. And as they move out, we're going to catch a break for Monday and Tuesday, and we won't see more storms move in until probably the middle of the week. I'm thinking probably around Wednesday or so. Hey, Zach's calling. Let's see what's up. Hang on. Let's see if I got him. Hey, Zach, I got you. I got you on the live feed. What's up?
Hey man, sorry about earlier. I was in man's land
I
there.
I figured as much. Hey,
Real here, so
some crazy lightning out there, huh?
yeah, I'm northbound, going northbound, coming into the Abbott Mansfield area. Gonna see if I can't get another look at this. I had to go the long way around, but it's been pretty slow. I just want to call and let you know kind of my plans. And it kind of looks like it may be like doing a handoff a little bit on the back. I'm not sure what it.
Yeah, and it looks like the rotation came down just a little bit. Man, it was really wrapped up earlier. I wasn't
Yeah,
live when I was watching your feed, but I saw that wall cloud. It looked pretty gnarly there for a while.
yeah. Well, whenever it was just out to keep, I got an image poster up really fast, but rapid rotation there for a while, and then of course lost into the trees. So not very good thing, man. Just,
It is. It is. Yeah, Ouachitas, Ozarks, not the best for chasing, but hey, man, I'll let you go. I know you're out there driving. I've got your feet up right now. This is Arkansas Storm Tracker Zachary Hall. Zach, thanks for checking in, man. You do a great service out there. Really give us a look at what's going on out in the area.
yeah. Man, if you need anything, just give me a call.
All right, we'll do. Take care, Zach. Again, that's Zach Hall out there. You can find him on his YouTube channel. This is the YouTube broadcast that he's doing now, and you can see. It's hard to see stuff, isn't it? I mean, he's up there on 71 headed northbound, and you just can't see things when you're storm tracking at night. You're really just looking for the lightning flashes and what you can see between the flashes or power flashes. You know, you can see sometimes some blues indicating that it's hitting the power lines are coming down. There's a flash there. So when you're storm chasing at night, it is very challenging. Of course, 71 is not the best road to be on anyway. So let me get back over to radar real quick. Let's see what this thing's doing. Again, Zach northbound on 71, watching him on that. You can see just west of Liberty, southwest of Mansfield, we still have that rotation. A look at the rotation here shows it much weaker than earlier. It's still there. It's right in here. It's south of Huntington, south of Midland. Nothing really that's terribly impressive, to be honest, compared to earlier. And when I say earlier, you guys can watch it for yourself. You can see that blue right here that's tracking to the north. This was nasty. This was a strong storm. In fact, if it put down a tornado, I think it probably put it down right here, somewhere in northeast of Hebner and southwest of Hartford. So we'll see if the Weather Service comes out and does any kind of damage surveys. I know they've got, there was a tornado last night in northeast Oklahoma, just to the west of Siloam Springs. They've also been surveying some tornadoes that are in green country up there in northeast Oklahoma from some of those stronger storms. So that's the storm that's out there. It looks like did they put a new warning on it? Let's see here. I thought maybe they did. Let me go back over to analyst and see. I'll bring it to you guys. All right. So no, it looks like it's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning here until 9:30. Of course, there's a handoff here because Scott County and Logan County are actually serviced by the Weather Service in Little Rock, whereas LaFleur County and Sebastian County are serviced by the Weather Service in Tulsa. So there's a little bit of a difference there. It looks like Tulsa did reissue a tornado warning. You saw it just pop up here. They're going to have this tornado warning. Southern Sebastian County, that thing's going to go until 9:15. So they're going to say, hey, 30 more minutes. Let's keep an eye on this storm. Let's see if that mesocyclone fires back up. If it does, it could produce a tornado. I like what I see right now, though. I don't see any kind of big time rotation on that storm. It has come down from where it was earlier, but it was certainly rotating earlier out there just southwest of the Hartford area, moving towards the northeast. One last look at Arkansas Storm Tracker Zachary Hall's live feed. He looks like he's at 23 and 71. You got the exit there to Boonville, headed towards the east. Let's see if we can see some lightning flashes. That'll give us a look at some of these lower clouds that are out there. Of course, after I sign off too, you guys can find Zach on Facebook. Watch his live feed. Zach's great. This is his full-time gig, so his full-time job is chasing storms, and he does this for a living all across the Central Plains. This is his busy time of year, and he's a great watch. He's very knowledgeable. He used to be a Fort Smith police officer before he transitioned into weather. Just a great guy all around. So a good feed to watch, and somebody that knows what they're doing and knows how to not be stupid around some of the strong storms, like some of the other storm chasers that you might see on the national news that just make me shake my head. But keep my mouth shut on that. Back over to radar real quick. I want to see what's going on here. Just south of Mansfield, we've got that rotation here. That's let me just filter out, show you right where the rotation is. Right here, just south of Mansfield. It's not much. Tornado debris signatures. Backing it up. Not that there's not many. There's just not. Um, which, hey, right? This is good for us. What's interesting to me, though, is you can see the yellow polygon and then you can see the red one. So the National Weather Service in Tulsa is issuing a tornado warning. The National Weather Service in Little Rock is saying, hey, it's a severe thunderstorm warning based on the current track. So that's something to watch, something to keep an eye on. Let's look at this storm near Huebner that's coming on the backside. Nah, nothing spinning on that. So that's good. Maybe a little bit more thunder there. That storm that was over Fort Smith, now on the east side of town, looks like it's. Let's go over to a different source here and give you some street names where this is. So this is the east side of Fort Smith. You can see 59. I'm showing the heaviest around Free Ferry up to the north, right along the Arkansas River here. Get rid of that. Let's see if I can move this over here for you. Show you where some of this. There's 540. There's exit 6. So here's Free Ferry, and then you come down towards Rogers Avenue here, and the storms pick up just northeast of Rogers Avenue. So that's north of Mercy. That's North 9th Street. Rogers Avenue, northbound, Mazard Creek, probably really full right now. And some of the other streets, Edgewater, Meandering Way, Dallas Street, that's up there near Chaffin. So you've got some stronger storms here on the east side of Fort Smith, a little calmer there on the west side, though, out towards Arcoma. The storms have started to weaken a little bit. And I'll take you back down to the south here near Huntington. If we see any hail with this, it's going to be Huntington, Mansfield. If we see a tornado with this, it's going to be closer towards Liberty. It looks not that great for tornadoes right now on radar. It's come down considerably compared to where it was a bit earlier. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this storm here for you as we head into the late evening hours. I think here in the next 2 hours or so, everything's gonna move out, and we won't have to worry about any more severe weather during the overnight. But in the short term, heads up in Boonville. You guys keep an eye on that storm. Northwest Arkansas, we've got some stuff that's out there, but I think we're gonna clear out. I don't think we're gonna see much more in the way of any kind of big time storms. Thankfully, as this whole system finally sweeps east and brings us a little bit of cooler weather. And then as we look down to the south, we'll wait for this thing to move out of the area. Fort Smith, I think you guys are in the clear after this moves through. I don't see any more rotation. Greenwood, that thing's just passing south of you. But heads up, Boonville, Magazine, Charleston, Paris, Coal Hill, Ozark, just because of that storm near Huntington. Yeah, it's down now. The rotation's not tight, but should it tighten back up, you guys are going to be the ones affected. That's the only game in town as far as rotation goes, and I'm sure Zach's going to be following it the whole time. So you can follow Arkansas Storm Tracker Zachary Hall on Facebook as well as YouTube. I think YouTube's where he's got his live stream located, so you can find him there. And hopefully we get through this thing pretty unscathed. I'll keep an eye on it though. Southern Sebastian County, heads up out there on Huntington 71. You got some rotation. It's not as strong as it was earlier, but be on guard as we head into the next couple of hours. By 10, 11 o'clock, most of this is out of the area and gone, so you don't have to worry about it during the overnight. Catch you guys back here coming up soon.